Is video log number 2 of second time doing the class. This dialogue is about how our class dialogues have been so far, and what my contributions have been, my observations, if I think we're engaging in dialogue. So Rachel and I have talked a lot about how our group dynamic is this year. It was very, very different last year. This year we have a really large group of white. I don't know if they're heterosexual, but I know of a few of them that are heterosexual. So it seems to be a lot of white heterosexual males and black heterosexual females. I'm pretty sure I'm the only person in the entire room who identifies as something other than heterosexual, which is, on the one hand, really exciting and cool, and I hope that allows me to do a dialogue about LGBT stuff, whether that be gender identity or sexual orientation or whatnot. But it's also a little bit intimidating, and the first time I talk about it is going to feel probably just as scary as it did last year. Even though I've done it many times in dialogues now, this is with a group of people that I am going to get really close with. So just I imagine it's going to be really intimidating seeing how they're going to take it and if it will go well. So my contributions in class I've been kind of holding back. I'm not the first person to speak by any means in any situation. I do often in class situations wait, and if there's a pause where no one's speaking, or if there's a question that no one knows the answer to, then I feel is my time to speak up. I'm definitely not the first person, and I'm not one to fight over other people, but I feel more comfortable doing that in this setting because I do feel like it's their first time, it's their space to explore and to find their legs without being shown. But Rachel and I were also talking about how I can have more of a mentoring role and not be the one to point out the things that I know they're going to get, but definitely be the one to bring up something that they'll never even see until they experience their first dialogue. So that's one of my goals that I'll be working on this semester, having more of a mentoring role, and just giving them insight that they won't be able to get without actually experiencing it, but hearing it firsthand is good too. So that is how I've been contributing and how I plan to contribute for, I don't know if it will be the rest of the semester or just for the next couple of weeks, but that's the goal. Last week, okay, so the first week was a little awkward, and it was really uncomfortable for me. Becky and Rachel noticed, you're watching this, both of you noticed that I was kind of like balling up in my chair. I felt kind of vulnerable and uncomfortable just because this is a group of people that I expect to get really close to and I expect to be really vulnerable with in a good way, where everyone's as vulnerable as I am and everyone's on the same page. But to be in a space where it's a whole bunch of people joking around and making really serious, scary things funny, it made me so uncomfortable because I was thinking back to my first semester doing it and how uncomfortable I was, but how I felt like everyone was in the same boat with me, and how we got to that first day of testimonies and everybody was crying or everyone was holding back tears. I'm really looking forward to getting that place with these PDFs, but the first week I had my doubts because we could not get to that serious place, and it's not them because I didn't call it out and nobody really changed it, but it was something that I definitely noticed. And then this past week, yesterday, it definitely got to a more serious place. I really appreciated where everybody was coming from. A couple of people weren't as engaged as I had hoped. Actually, I'm a little concerned that there are quite a few people that aren't nearly as engaged or passionate about this as I had hoped, because we've already had a lot of absences, which hopefully are, all excused, but I don't think I'd seen Naya before yesterday, and then Isaiah wasn't there, and Q wasn't there, so it's just, every class you change so much. I guess you don't change, but you learn so much and about the people in the room, and I just hate missing out on that because there aren't people there because people aren't there or because people aren't speaking up. So that was something that I noticed that really disappointed me and kind of scared me, because if we drop down to 10 people again, I will cry because I can't do 3 dialogues my senior year, fall semester. I will cry. So that was one thing I noticed. But also last week, there were a lot of tense moments because people seemed really combative. That was, on the one hand, I was very excited at the passion and the conviction that some of the people had, where they were willing to go down with what they believed in, and I appreciated that they were asking questions and that these people were trying to see other points of view, but I don't think they've really mastered the dialogue piece of that, because I felt uncomfortable because I felt a lot of just debate. I hope that doesn't happen again. There are a couple people that I notice speak for very, very long periods of time when they get a chance to speak, and there are people that don't speak up at all. So I'm already seeing what we had with our freshmen, some, pitfalls in dialogue where we're not sharing the floor. I do, however, think that we have achieved moments of dialogue where everyone is really engaged and everyone is listening and speaking in turn. I don't think that we have achieved dialogue at all times by any means, but I do think that we'll get there. So the patterns, I think, need to change. Well, first, the observations that are indicative of dialogue are those moments where we get that reflective silence, not awkward silence, reflective silence. And we get the affirmations because everyone's engaged into what the person is saying. And I feel like we've achieved dialogue when people are nodding their heads because they've learned something. And they're just, people around the room look like, okay, that was good. That felt good. But the patterns, I think, need to change to achieve dialogue. It's really just like an individual experience. Some people need to back off. Some people need to speak up. Some people need to watch the way they say things or the way they ask things. And I think the only way that we're ever going to get there is from learning from each other and from learning more about dialogue and what it looks like. And it's the second real class, third time that we've seen each other. So I'm not expecting perfect dialogue by any means. I am seeing really a lot of potential, and I'm excited to see where it will go. So with that, I will end video log number 2.